Hey guys, Tim from Heavy Metal Off-Road here. Today we're doing a cab mount slash body mount chop on John's 2020 Toyota 4Runner. We're going to show you how it's done. Check it out. Here are the required items and tools you need to complete the job. First off, you've got the cab mount chop plates supplied by Heavy Metal Off-Road. Then you need your 10mm for the battery, a pair of work gloves, a grinder with a sander and a cutoff wheel, an optional plasma cutter if you don't want to use a cutoff wheel, a welder with associated PPE, a floor jack, heavy duty jack stands, and a wheel chock. The first step you're going to do, apply the e-brake. Go ahead and take your wheel chock and put it behind the rear tire. And lift up the hood. Disconnect the negative battery terminal. Go ahead and take your floor jack and lift up the front end under the skid plate. Next, take your heavy duty jack stand and support it under the frame. Slowly lower the vehicle onto the jack stands. Grab your wheel key or socket and undo the lug nuts. All right, next we're going to go ahead and remove the mud flap with the flathead screwdriver and an accessory removal tool. Then go ahead and make sure that the body mount is free of dirt, so you can go ahead and mark it with your soapstone. Grab your body mount plate. You're gonna want to line up the very edge with your eyeball and bring the tip of it flush, maybe even back just a hair. Take your soapstone and mark behind, go underneath just a little bit, straight up. You have your line. Now go ahead and bring your line, follow the edge, and try to be flush or just behind the firewall so that when you weld the new plate in, it will be flush with the firewall.
Indubitably. This is a terrible angle to be in.
I know, right? And here you can see you're taking off a good 1.25 inches. You go ahead and finish up underneath. Bring your mark down there.
I have no idea where this is pointing at, but
We're going to trim away some of the plastic. Try to follow the flush line here and this line here. We're going to go straight across and straight down. That gives us room to go ahead and get our welder and our plasma torch or grinding cutting wheel in there. You can even cut away a little bit more. There you go. Still looks factory, OEM. Looks good. So you have one of two options here. You can either use a cutting disc on a grinder and cut away the material here and underneath and get in there like so, or you could do the preferred method if you have access and use a plasma torch. This will save about 45 minutes with the grinding and cutting time, and I recommend using a spray bottle ahead of time. Spray the bushing on the outside, spray the bushing on the inside from underneath, and just keep spraying that anytime you get heat near it so that it doesn't cook, and it will cook. You can't avoid it, but just keep spraying it. One more note to add here is when you're cutting or welding, sometimes in the Tacoma or the 4Runner, right behind the bushing, there is a lot of space, and leaves and debris get packed in their needles, pine needles, and they can catch fire very easy. So please make an effort to pull that stuff out and spray some water in there as well. Okay, we got a little snippet here of a 3rd gen Tacoma. And you can see the 3rd gens are a little bit different because they have this extra structure inside the body mount to give it some rigidity. Your angle grinder with the flap disc here, we're gonna go ahead and make it flat and uniform. We're gonna make sure this angle matches. Grinding this down will determine the angle at which the pitch is. Looks great. Go ahead and tack it up. There's no rough edges. It's all smooth, completely flat. It's on the sides, on the bottom, front. It's just how you want it. Go ahead and get yourself a wet rag full of acetone or alcohol. You're going to want to clean the whole area that we just welded. Now that it's cooled down, we can go ahead and get all this off on both sides. Prep it for paint. Normally, I use this Rust-Oleum undercoating. It's rubberized, durable, lasts a long time. But in this case, I've ran out. An alternative is you can use Rust-Oleum truck bed liner in a can. All right, so now that we have the tape off and everything's painted, let's throw the tire back on. Lift the vehicle off the jack stands, remove the jack stands, slowly lower the vehicle to the ground. Set your torque wrench to 85 foot-pounds. Go ahead, double torque all the wheels. Reattach your negative battery cable. Close the hood. As you can see, we've got plenty of clearance here. We've got a good 3/4 of an inch in there. Guys, I want to thank you for taking the time to watch the video on how to install the Toyota Tacoma and 4Runner body mount chop, cab mount chop. And be sure to check out all the products on our website, heavymetaloffroad.com. Lots of good things there. Until next time, see you later.